Alright, here we go. Episode 2. We have our first guest, my brother. Only know him. We'll say we're going on a year anniversary. Congratulations. Right. But this is my brother, Paco Perez. Ooh, little claps, yeah. So, little background story. I knew of Paco all of high school, actually. Well, I graduated 2013. He graduated 2016. 16. This guy, you think he's short next to this guy's like 7 feet tall on the spot. But everybody in the football realm, he went to Baldwin Park High School. I went to Cerro Vista High School. Everybody knew who Paco was because Paco was respected on that field.
I appreciate that, man.
I told him this the other day. When I heard of Paco and they were talking about Paco, I'm be like, man, he's a piece of shit. I was like, man, he might be cocky. He was getting recruited. I was like, he's a. Man. And just until last year, we linked up at the gym. We started conversating, and man, humble as fuck, my brother. But we're gonna get down to the nitty and gritty because this is a toast to life. So with the toast, we're gonna be drinking. Get your cups ready because here we go. So, man, what? So when did you start playing football?
I started in freshman year of high school, bro.
Fred, how many college offers did you get by the time you were a junior?
Well, I didn't get my first offer until I was actually a junior, like late after the season. So I got my first offer, I'd say, like towards the end of my junior year, which was, by April, which was by Texas Tech. And, I received them mostly after, my senior year, which was a total of 14, 15, 16? So something like that. But I don't really remember. This is a long time ago, but yeah. 15, 16, I think that's what it was.
Damn. How'd you feel? Like, I mean, it's different now because now both football programs are well respected. They're putting a name for themselves. But from what I remember, coming out of, we grew up in Baldwin Park in general together, and you would honestly, in my opinion, never hear of a football star getting recruited.
Right.
And if you heard about that, you heard of the name Paco with it, in my opinion. From what I know, because I remember specifically with Coach Joe, when we went to Baldwin Park games, and he was like, "Dude, look, that's Paco." I'm like, "Who?" That big mother. I was like, "Oh, damn." I was like, "He's bigger than me." All right, let's go. But honestly, you went to UCLA,
right?
Was that your best option, or just because it was close to home?
I mean, truthfully, I chose UCLA because, one, it was close from home, and I was committed to Cal Berkeley for 6 months, and I ended up going there because it was just a weird vibe when I took an official visit. Basically, an official visit is when they pay for your flight and they pay for your stay, and you go visit the campus, you visit the team, and you go see the the football stadium. It just treats you like a king, basically.
Correct.
And everyone was just weird up there. It's so weird, it's just too hippie and too calm, and I was just like,
it wasn't your vibe.
It wasn't really my vibe. And then when I took a visit to UCLA, and I was just like, most of the players were cool as hell. I felt like home, and it was 45 minutes away from the crib, so I was just like, why not pick here? I mean, I did have other options to go to, ASU, San Diego State.
Yeah. But
I chose UCLA because I was just wanted to focus on my education, which was number 2, number 1 at the time, in public university. So it's just this is my home, and so I just picked here, and I picked there actually. But
when during the time you were getting recruited, so we'll talk briefly about that.
Right.
But during the time you're getting recruited by UCLA, you're taking your visits. Did you ever go to the Rose Bowl games and stuff?
I went to the Rose Bowl game when they played against Cal, and I was committed to Cal. So I was going for Cal, but we lost.
For sure.
We lost.
So my question is, when that was happening, did more, I think we could speak on it now, did more people hop on your vibe because they knew you were going somewhere out of Baldwin Park? Because I think a big thing is, if you're making it out of Baldwin Park, that's huge.
Right.
Right. So that's what I'm as high school. Like I've told my girlfriend, like in high school, everybody knew me because of sports and because of my last name,
right.
and that is it. But you know, you have a ticket outside of Baldwin Park.
Right.
Like, did more people just like hop on you? Like, hey, bro, what's up? Let's hang out.
I mean, I definitely felt. This was 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. But when I was getting recruited, I did feel like a lot of people I never realized I was going to talk to were starting to talk to me. Because people would say that I was like one of the popular kids, but I never really saw myself that. I just like to talk to people. But
yeah,
I did notice that a lot of people were trying to hop on my hype train. Girls I never realized I was going to speak to in high school were speaking to me, and I was just like, dude, what the hell? Like, who the hell are you? Like,
it's different.
But you didn't talk to me last year. What makes me different this year? Just because I have scholarships, or like?
Yeah, I'm still the same.
I'm still the same man. Same kid at the time. But,
so when you got to UCLA,
right?
Did you lose a lot of those people, or those people still try to like be around you? Because I think a big thing now in our generation, I'm 25, you're
22.
22, bam, he's a baby. I think it kind of relates because in the success that you have in your life, regardless of like if it's money, opportunity, school, whatever, like if you're on a hype train, how you said earlier,
right,
they still gravitate to be around you.
No, yeah, it's
so
facts.
I think that's what I'm asking. Like, when you got to UCLA, did you get more or did you lose people?
I feel like it was a mixture of both. Like when I got to UCLA, I was realizing like people I never spoke to before were asking for tickets. Like
shit. Yeah, because you guys would get like free tickets just for your family, right?
Right, for my family and friends, and that's it. And it was only like 4 or 5.
Damn, where was I? I was working it, so I was there. No man, no. Good, but I was there till like the third quarter, and then like, but that time I swear, like that was still like during my college like years. Like I went 2 years to Mount Sac,
right?
And we would work at the Rose Bowl for one of the guys for the ticketing office. So we would be there up to the third quarter. If lucky, we would just go watch it really quick, go home.
Right.
And this is coming home with like a check of $70, bro.
That's not even enough. But
gas, bro. I would drive my dad's Yukon. My dad's Yukon with $70 and carrying like 10 people in the back. Half that would go to my dad's gas. I mean, like, man, let's go eat some McDonald's dollar menu, which is not a dollar menu anymore. But that's another conversation.
That's another But going off with the question you were saying, but yeah, I did realize that when I got to UCLA, a lot of people were asking me for like a bunch of tickets, and I was like, dude, I don't even talk to you anymore. Like
you're irrelevant.
Yeah, I remember this one time. I was we're getting ready to play USC, and I was just a sophomore or a freshman at the time, and some guy hit me up. He's like, everyone. He's like, hey, dude. It's like, what's up with them USC tickets? And I was like,
F you.
I was like, wait, bro. I was like, one, I haven't spoken to you in like 4 to 5 years, and and 2, you're a USC fan. Like, what the hell would I give you tickets? You know what I'm saying? Like,
so we'll jump right into it. Sorry to cut you off.
Are you good?
What kind of mentality you had to transfer from a high school kid out of a small, like, I know Baldwin Park is a small, like, it's a big town in general, but from a small town football star, you would say,
right,
to a football city like UCLA, Westwood is, man, that they take pride, just like USC, another right, like D1. But like from you coming, like I think we have almost the same upbringing, from going one culture shock to the next,
right, and
from a kid to being an adult, like what happened, or how did it gravitate to you?
Well, coming out of BP, we're still small, like, and plus we're Hispanic, no Hispanics play football, it's rare, it's really rare. Like, when I was going through the recruiting phase, I was just like, I'm not getting any offers. We're Division 11, 13 at the time. No one goes to this. No one goes to see you play.
We never played them. My years. Anyway.
But me coming out of high school, I was just like, I have to go get that grind myself. Like I have to, go out there and pursue. Go to football camps, go to Nike, go to Under Armour, go to all these camps just to get my name out there. Because coaches weren't coming to see us play, because we're not a private school. We're not big. We're not known. We don't play. And plus, we're Hispanic.
Exactly.
And then like I said, like I got my name out there, I got all these offers, but transitioning to UCLA, I just kept my name to myself basically, and I told myself like, look, you got offered, you're here, you're a nobody. Like you're all the stars you got in high school, all those offers don't mean shit.
Exactly. Like I think, sorry to cut you off, but like from being a high school star,
right?
And this is like everybody out there is still in high school, barely getting out, still trying to live the high school dream. Like when you're a high school star, cool, man, live the hype, go through that wave. But as soon as you leave, honestly, like you go to the next level, and I seen it when we went to Mount Sac.
Right.
We played an outside league that was a semi-pro league, and we played like big pro team, and it was like, bro, you were good. And I saw this, and I'll cut it short. And I saw this when we went to college. Right. There was a guy coming in with 5 state titles, and nothing, bro. He wasn't a star.
Because you
don't mean it. What you did in the past didn't mean anything, but prepare, like, give you the opportunity. Like it just gave you the opportunity to be there and be on the same field for those people that worked their asses off to be there. Right. At that point, right? Because I mean, I didn't know you then, but I'm sure the work that you had to put in there, like
it's a grind. So basically, like most of the seniors, they gather you up and they're like, you guys are all freshmen. You guys don't mean shit. You guys all start from the bottom.
Facts.
Like what you did in high school doesn't mean shit. Now you're dealing with grown men. I'm an 18, 17-year-old dealing with 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like you really had to humble yourself down just to like, get ready for the next level. Basically, when you're there, like there's
was that tough for you, or it just like the way? Because I know you now, and I know you're humble, but at high school, was that hard, or was it?
No, it was
like
easy.
Just easy.
It was easy because coming out of BP, we're not known. So,
but I'm assuming also because the way your parents raised you.
I mean, my parents always told me to be grateful, but like
for sure,
like no matter where you go to and what, like even if you play D1, D2, D3, like you still gotta humble yourself and be like, look, like just because I did this in high school, it doesn't mean anything.
And a lot of people don't. They live on that hype train, sadly.
I'm glad I didn't, because I would have been out there being hated by everyone on the team.
So would you say your college experience lived to the expectation that you did personally? Like, hey, like when you stepped out on the field with the team, like, hey, I made it, or was it like, hey, I still need to do stuff? Because that, I think when you get to the D1,
right,
in general, when you get to the next level out of high school, you're already something else. You're a different breed, in my opinion.
Right.
To get to the next level after that, you have to be even different. Like you got to be, especially something else. Like you got to be. I think now the percentage is like 1% that make it to the next level.
Bro, it's different now. There's club football now. There's club football.
Yeah, bro. Something we didn't have. Something I know I didn't have. I mean, I didn't pursue football because I started playing this since like sophomore year, not even freshman, because my mom, she gonna watch this. She said, "No, mijo, you ain't gonna play this." I said, "All right, I'll stick to soccer. I'll stick to cross country and track."
Right.
Until I played it, and they suckered me in by, "Hey, you're gonna come kick a ball and bang, you're on the field."
Play some kicker.
And now you're a DN and tight end, which we're a running team either way. But it was like, it was different. And I say this now, like I think for me personally, like the sport phase that I had.
Right.
Now that I'm older, like they still invite me to go play, Dylan, and I've told my kids that I coach, like, hey, I'm okay that I know I can't play anymore at that level or that pace,
right?
Because I already did what I had to do.
Right.
I chose work, and if I didn't choose what I did at that time, which was to go work, and pursued community college and maybe get like an offer somewhere or whatever. I don't know what would happen.
Right.
But to the extent that I know is like, we wouldn't be here.
Fact.
Like I probably wouldn't have met my baby mama, girlfriend. She gonna get mad. I wouldn't live where I live now. Right. And I wouldn't work for my dad and with my dad. And I probably wouldn't have met you. That's what I'm trying to get to is, when they give you the question like, hey, do you regret what you did? No, I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't regret anything. You know, I know I didn't play the 4 years. You know, I graduated in 3. You know, the only reason I graduated in 3 years was because, you know, I tore both my knees, you know, and I had to medically retire from the sport. And, you know, I didn't get the chance to.
I just found that out right now, too, guys.
I didn't get the chance to, you know, actually play on the field, you know, because, you know, I was going into freshman year, you know, I was working with this alumni and who played at UCLA, and, you know, we were doing some footwork, and my foot got stuck in the grass, and I tore my knee. And I went in there, and as a red shirt, you know, had to get surgery, and I sat out the whole year, you know, took my year off. And then, you know, next year, I'm coming off a promising spring ball, you know, starting from, you know, second string, and tearing my knee again in the spring game. And then, you know, then making my, you know, going into rehab again and doing all those hours with the trainers, you know, and then starting fall camp again, you know, like, I wasn't really fully recovered. I haven't ran a sprint, and they cleared me off the bat, just like that, you know, without doing a sprint, without cutting, you know. And then they cleared me, and then, you know, I made my way up from second string all the way to fifth string, because I was hurt, obviously, and I wasn't fully recovered. And then, you know, weeks pass by, you know, the season starts, and, you know, I make my way from fifth string to second string. You know, I'm about to play, you know, like the next game against Colorado or Oregon, I forgot who it was, but you know, like I said, I'm second string, and the guy in front of me gets hurt, and, you know, the next guy's up, and I'm the next guy up after the second guy who goes in, you know. And then he gets hurt, so I'm just like, shit, I'm about to go in. Then against Colorado. It's a whiteout game, it's a special game, it's homecoming. I was like, let's get it.
There it is. And then, time.
You know, the starter who initially was there just came back, and he's like, and the coach came up to me, he's like, hey, like, if this guy gets hurt, you're up next. And I was like, say less. And, you know, he played the whole game, no biggie. You know, I was like, okay, at least I know I'm up next if the next guy comes in.
Great.
And actually he gets hurt, but, you know, next week up, we're playing Oregon. All of our young guys are getting hurt. You know, the scout team guys are getting hurt, and then, you know, I'm told to go back to scout practice. You know, scout team, and, you know, give the starters, defensive, you know, D1 starters, you know, some looks, and then, you know, I tear my knee again. And then, you know, after I tear my knee again, you know, I go to the trainers, and they're like, dude, like, you know, we can't play you no more. Like, you're a liability. Like, you know, you tear your knee twice already. Like, okay, that's fine, but a third time, like, we can't have you on this team because you can't. You're a resource. Like, you're just wasting.
So they give you, like, the option to, like, either do it again, but on your own consent, right, or like,
nah,
hey, you're not coming back.
It was more like a, hey, let's just let you know you tore your knee again. Like, we're gonna pay for it, but
that's it.
That's it. Like, you're done. Like, you're not playing anymore.
Mentally, like, physically, we already know what, like,
right,
when you tear. Luckily, I never felt that, but how do you take that mentally? Like, after, like, freshman year to your senior year, you were like, hey, I had to do all the work. To now you're in college, and that's how you got in college. You know, one of the ways in college, because you still gotta have the grades to go to those D1 schools.
Right.
But now that they tell you, like, hey, bro, like, that's it. Your dreams and aspirations of being in this,
right?
It's it. Like, kind of fast forward, like, hey, like, you already did your school, whatever. You already did your time. Coming back to the city, knowing, hey, you did. Honestly, I don't know, but, like, if you didn't, how does that mentally?
I mean, at first when he told me, like, you need to step out, I said, fuck that. You know, I went to you know, I went to go get treatment, and I went to go see two other knee specialists who said, hey, you're good to go, but you just need to be treated right. And I took it to the trainers, and they're like, no, you can't play because, you know, like, you have arthritis in your knee, which basically means you don't have any, like, tissue to cover up your knees when you tear it again, and that's it. Yeah. And, you know, so I tried to fight it for like a month, and they still wouldn't budge and wouldn't let me practice, and and, you know, they're like, dude, you're done. Like, just basically just drop it. And then, you know, one day I just said, you know, I was pissed off, you know, after like the 4th or 5th meeting we had with the trainer. I said, fuck you, and I walked out. And, you know, I cried. You know, it was honestly probably the worst time of my life because, you know, like, yeah, during those times, you know, like, you know, football was everything I knew. You know, I came to UCLA to play football, and, you know, having that taken away from me was just like, fuck, like, what else do I do? Like, like I'm studying history, and I'm just like, the fuck am I supposed to do with history? Be a teacher? Like, no offense to teachers, but like, you know, it's like I'm not trying to be a teacher. I'm trying to like,
I didn't get to your level,
right?
But my first year out of college, we went to Mount Sac, and me coming out, I thought I was a star in high school. Obviously, how we just said.
Right.
Going to Mount Sac, I did what I had to do, and then like the final cut, because they travel for their preseason or for their pre-training, and like the literally I would say in that same week, one of the last practices, they called me up to the group that I know they cut, like, hey bro, you're not coming. And I seriously, like, I got home, I was in depression. I went to my high school coach, and I was just like, bro, like, I'm sorry, man, I didn't do it. Like, I was it was two of us that made it that far.
Right. And
luckily he made it to like keep playing, and me, it was like, bro, like, I didn't. And I had the choice to go back, and I did. And what seemed promising to play that following year, because we had like pre-games, and they didn't call me. And it sucked. And I was like, you know what? Like, when the call came to come to training or go work, I said I'm going to work. And that was it. That was a wrap. My career as a potential soccer player ended there, and I was fine with it, because that's when everything started coming in.
Right.
You know, I struggled with money up to that point, and once I started working, for me that was fine.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Right.
But it was like, bro, like, how do you continue right after that? Like, it was in the back of my head, and my mom, she felt bad because she was the only one at my games. Like, my dad was working, and I'll have that conversation later, but he was working, creating what we have now.
Right.
So my mom was at the games the whole time, and she felt like, hey, like, why did you do that? Like, why? I said, hey, it's okay. Now, like, hey, now I'm able to give you at least something, or pay for something,
right, instead
of asking you for it.
I mean, you know, when I medically retired, you know, like, I was obviously depressed because, you know, this is all I knew, like I said earlier. But, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like, it was, you know, it hit my soul different, because that's all I knew. Like, that's all I was, you know, training for. I put hours and hours in the weight room for this shit, just to, you know, have it be gone just like that.
Click on it. You should be good. Don't worry. No, click that. Just like the screen. Yeah, it should be good. Keep going.
It's gonna stop though. That's why I said let's restart it to a new one.
No, go for it. Keep going.
I'm buzzing hard.
Yeah, me too.
Look, cut this one.
No, keep going. Just keep going. Okay. We should be fine.
It won't stop.
It shouldn't be, because now you're clicking on the screen. Sorry. Man, this is uncut, uncensored, because we going for it. Continue, brother.
So like I was saying, you know, like, once I medically retired, man, you know, it did hit the soul different, because, you know, like I said, like, this is all I knew, and this is what I was doing, just what I was training for, just to make it to the next level after college, you know?
Yeah.
And once I was told, you know, I can't make it back onto the field, I was just like, you know, depressed, you know? Okay. Like, I feel like, I didn't know what else to do with my life, you know, besides, you know, just keep going to school, and then
try to do something.
Do something, man. Just make my parents at least happy. But, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like, I gained weight after, you know, I medically retired from playing football at UCLA.
A lot of people don't understand that after you stop playing,
and
the reason, level, bro, like,
but the reason why I gained the weight was because, you know, I was going out like Thursday through Sunday, man, where I was just drinking, because, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was depressed.
Yeah,
I was depressed. You know, I hated life, and, you know, like I said, I was just drinking, just trying to get rid of the pain, because, you know, football is all I knew, and, you know, just the fact that I was just taken away just like that,
yeah,
you know, kind of hit me. But, you know, after one night, you know, I just woke up, and, you know, like, I know it sounds like a movie, like something like you see in the movie, but I woke up, you know, I was hungover, and you know, we went to a frat party. It was just, you know, I just got fucked up, and, you know, saw myself in the mirror, and I just saw that I was just fat and, you know, overweight and just unhealthy, you know. I was just not looking happy at all. So I was just like, you know what, like, I gotta change, you know. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, my grades did drop, you know. I was like, I got a 2.5 GPA at UCLA, and I was just like, dude, I gotta change this shit. Like, the fuck am I doing here? I came here for a reason, which is to get an education, which I forgot. You know?
You forgot that, like,
the reason why I was here.
Besides the fact of playing football, like you were still there for a reason.
For a reason, and that's what clicked. And I was like, you know what, I got to change for not only for myself but for my family. And I just got to work and started hitting the gym every other day, and then I started getting my grades up, and then I finished after 2 to 3 years of education because I was fed up with just being at UCLA, and I finished with the 3.0 overall, just graduating. I put in the work, and
good,
I took
bro.
extra classes
cheers to that
over
one.
the summer. You know what I'm saying?
To even get to that point, bro, I can't say I graduated, but cheers too.
Like over the summer, dude, like usually take 3 classes over the summer because it's so sped up. Like I took 4 to 5 because I was just like, I just need to graduate and get out and get a job and try to help my, just try to live, live up to my name and.
And you think that name, was it because because how you said the name, everybody knew your name because of football. For me, I felt like everybody knew mine, and not on, like, both of us were not cocky, but just confident. But for my last name, and it was more like, hey, everybody knows me and has known what I've been doing to this point. If I don't do something with mine, I am not going to be happy.
Right.
I'm not going to be okay. And it took forever, bro. I think until now that I'm a dad, I have my home with my girlfriend, and we're going into our next step. I feel like now I'm doing something. Besides, like, helping my dad, that he doesn't have to wake up that early anymore to go to work. But it's like, I can at least say that. Like, hey, I don't have a college degree. Like, this is just like me and mine working hard,
right,
and investing in what we believe in, and me investing in what I believe in. And it got me to this point. And that's what I tell my kids, like the high school kids, like, if college isn't for you, because I don't think it's for everybody,
it's not.
But if it's not for you, you're gonna have a harder time, and you have to figure this out.
Right.
Because I would say lucky and blessed, because my dad came out here and he created a whole company.
Right.
A whole company, and like he literally told me, if you want it, here you go.
Take it.
And if you don't, then I'll sell it. And at first I was like, I don't care. Like, go for it. Do it.
Right.
Until I got to the point where I'm your only son, bro. Now, like, as I told you this to my girlfriend's uncle, my Hector, my brother, to my brother John, and my dad himself, and my mom. And like, bro, a lot of people call me, like, they make fun of, like, oh, mata ratas, or
Right.
Or, oh, you kill rats, you kill roaches, oh, that's nasty. It's nasty. But that pays my living. I'm cool, because that's something that you're going to end up calling me at one point of your life. And that's what I want. But with that, and what I want from this channel, what we're doing right now is, like, now whoever is listening now, if you haven't liked and subscribed and shared yet, do it now. But for those, like, that need to hear it, it's not that they haven't heard it.
Right.
They just need to hear it, because they don't know my story. They don't know your story from the people outside, or the people that stood outside and seen you. Now they know who you are.
And to be honest, bro, like, not even. I don't feel like a lot of people even know my story, because when I
Have a lot, bro.
When I medically retired, I didn't want to share this. I was like, this will make you soft, like, like I didn't want to share the story. I didn't want to post that I medically retired, because I felt like I led my city down, to be honest with you, because I didn't pursue the next level after college, but which is okay. And like I said, like, this is strange, because I never really have shared my story at all with anyone. And I just kept it to myself and just kept moving, and just said what's next in life.
That's what I love, that what we are just starting, bro. We are just starting. Like, you're our first guest. You're my brother, in which I wanted you to be here. And it's like, bro, these are stories that will help the next generation after us, or right behind us, or even like the people that are in front of us, trying to figure it out. Like, hey, like, it's okay.
Honestly,
you haven't figured it out. It's still okay. It's just you got to work for it.
Honestly, one of the biggest advice I'd give to the upcoming generation is, you do not need a college degree to get a job or a career, because I study history. I'm not even doing anything close to history. It's basically who you know, not what you know.
Facts.
And
I think that goes back to like who you are. So it's about, right, like how you just said right now. It's about who you know, not what you know. I mean, I still think like you still gotta know stuff, but honestly, like me experiencing it now, like who you know now, it does play a big factor for sure.
Right.
So like you coming out of UCLA, your degree, and doing what you're doing, like how do you like what are you gonna tell the ones coming up, right? Because everybody's still, and it's never gonna end. Everybody has the aspect of playing on the next level and the next level after that, but like you went through the whole program of high school, college, degree, and now you're back and trying to do something like what are
right. And like basically what you and I said, it's really not what you know, it's who you know. Like and basically one of the biggest things I try to tell kids who I have a conversation with, it's it doesn't matter if you have a a college degree. It doesn't matter if you get a master's degree. It's at the end of the day, it's like, you just gotta know people. I didn't get this job that I work out now. I'm not gonna say the name of the company I work for. Just for my own privacy. But I didn't get this job just because because of what I studied. I studied history, but I'm doing a totally opposite thing of what I'm doing from history.
And that's like usual, bro. That's. I would say normal, right? Because a lot, sadly, and maybe not sadly for them, but a lot of people do things outside of their own degree,
right? And one of the biggest things I'd say is, if you were able to get a scholarship to whatever school, I would recommend to go into trade. That's where the money's at. To be honest with you, like, trade is always gonna be around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do a trade and. Shoot, I wish I studied more trade. I wish I did engineering, but I couldn't because, football didn't allow me to. And that's okay because, I networked my ass off, I'm constantly on these, apps where it's like, it's, for example, LinkedIn, I'm always trying to meet people. I'm always trying to, get my name out even more, even after football, I'm just trying to, get my name out, just see if another potential opportunity comes about, because, like I'm trying to live comfortably.
Yeah, and like me and my girlfriend, we spoke about it, and I've heard it in podcast interviews that I listen to myself. And money isn't happiness. I get it. I understand. A lot of people be like, "Oh, it doesn't bring you happiness, but it brings you comfort."
Right.
Because if you're broke, you're not gonna, and you get money, you're not gonna go back to being broke because you know what I mean. Whatever the case is, like money just brings you comfort. Happiness comes after in what you're doing, and what I'm doing now with in this household, in this channel, me and you is just like, bro, this brings not just comfort but satisfaction because now we're able to bring what we know and what we experience, not what we think, what we experience
to the next generation,
to the world,
like a teaching lesson.
Because like this itself, it's like, bro, people are gonna hear it, and the next generation that hears it, and the people older than us, same age as us, younger than us, like, hey, if you're gonna take something out of this, don't we're not sponsored by No Drinks. We that's how we do it. But in this channel, what I said, and I said in the first episode, like, it just gives you the confidence. Whether you drink water, whether you drink alcohol, whether you drink energy drinks, coffee, whatever it is, you gotta have that comfort. I have that comfort with you. You the same with me because we got to know each other beforehand. But it's like to now, it's like, you know what? For you to be happy, you really need to be happy with what you're doing.
Exactly.
If you're not happy with what you're doing, you're going to wake up every day and you're going to be like, another day. Another day.
And that's what life should be about, period. Just wake up, get you a job that's just like, it's just another day. Not really just another day, but more like, like I get to work with the family.
Yeah.
That's what I try to aim for, the way I work at, it's more like a family aspect more than a business aspect.
For sure.
We fuck around a lot, it's just a lot of fun, but your main goal should not be, how do I survive, or, how do I get through the day. It should be more like, how could I, just live happy, comfortably, like.
Sure. And like me personally, like now 2021, like I'm entering what I spoke in the first one, and we'll talk about this in the next episode about mental health. But like now I'm probably the happiest
I've ever been.
and what a lot of people don't know, and if you watch the first episode, me speaking about it, during that time I was going through my bad times, even right before COVID and after COVID. Like I already had met him,
right,
and we knew each other. So when that interaction like stopped, and I was interacting with with the other peeps that we were with, it takes a toll. But if you have people around him, because me and him text each other, maybe not every day, but every so often,
and it's always about motivation.
And and the energy never stops.
Never stops.
It's the same positive. Hey, we gotta keep going. Hey, good morning, brother. Time to get to work.
Right.
And honestly, me personally, now in the position I am, and in the moment that I am, like if you don't have those type of friends, like, man, you gotta get yourself a new set of friends.
You get yourself a new fuel. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's about people you have around with. Like this is amazing. My other brothers, the other people I interact with, those are honestly like, you guys are all the fuel why I keep going. But now that we have this channel, this episode, like, this platform, right? We built a platform.
You built it.
This is like, it'll never be me, because without this, like without everybody, I'm not going to do anything. But without this platform now that we have to expand, because this guy's going to come back for the next episode and more episodes, because there's a lot more to talk.
Right.
But there's a lot more to even say. But what I would say to like the younger generation that's coming up, that's trying to figure it out, like, honestly, never give up. I've had these conversations, and I've been positive as much as I can throughout my journey. And just now, we are doing this.
Right.
Just now, you are figuring yourself out. And you're going from a football star. I'm going from a college like degree, killing rats and roaches. If you need some, let me know. But we're going into the next part of our life. What we had just discussed briefly, and we'll bring this out later on. But we're talking about the future,
right?
And how we just said, if you don't have the people around you, if they're not talking about the future,
this should be around your circle.
Oh, they shouldn't, bro. Because when you're trying to succeed and people are trying to bring you down, and you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, like, cut them off, bro. They're gonna envy you, and they're gonna
drag you down,
belittle you as much as they can. Like, don't do this, don't do that. I heard it from not just you, but from somebody else. Like, hey, bro, no, not everybody's gonna believe in your dream. That's true. I believe in this. I believe in this dream. And if someday we'll get to the views that we need to help others, not the money wise, because I heard it actually today. When you have money, the money doesn't change you. It's just the platform that you build at this point. It's like, man, if we're able to help anybody else that listens to this, that's amazing. That is amazing. So it's like, bro, having you here. From everybody in our town that wants to know how he did it and what he's doing, it's like, bro, don't count Paco out, because Paco's on the rise up. He didn't do the professional athlete, but Paco is doing what Paco is supposed to be doing, right? Like in my opinion, because there's a lot more to life for sure, and that's what this channel is about. It's a toast to life, right? Because our life is just precious in that sense where, dude, what we have and what we had to experience already was just meant to be. But it's a blessing in disguise, even if we don't see it at that time. Because I didn't see it at that time, but now it's like there's no stopping.
It's no stop at all.
So the next episodes that are coming, man, you got to stay tuned. If you haven't, like, subscribe. But we'll end on this note because we've dragged you along this long.
Right.
And with that, hey, it toast to life. So if you have water, drinks, whatever you have, toast to life, man. Toast to you, brother. Thank you. Let's get it. See you next time. Ooh, there it is.